Wanna see me build the most insane wooden dueling coaster you have ever seen? Then this video is meant for you. This is Coaster Master, and I'll be seeing you on the other side. Hi friends, this is Coaster Master here. I had recorded this episode a really long time back. I think it was January or February. Yeah. But I just didn't get any time to do this commentary. Otherwise, I would have uploaded this episode by February or maybe early March. But yeah, here I am. I'm finishing this commentary as soon as possible, and well, there's not really that much I need to say over here because, well, what I've built here is a very interesting dueling coaster. I don't know. The layout is it's unlike any dueling coaster you've ever seen because yeah, sorry, it's unlike any wooden dueling coaster you've ever seen because it has four lift hills, so two lift hills on each track, and it's extremely long. I think it's the length of a normal wooden coaster for I think each track. No, longer than your average wooden coaster. I'd say it's pretty close to the length of, I don't know, maybe it's like 2/3 of the length of the beast. Maybe even more. It's a long coaster basically, and I think that I utilize every inch of space I have on this coaster pretty well. Yes, there aren't a lot of airtime hills, although I do compensate for that shortage at the very end. But yeah, in the first half, you won't see a lot of airtime hills. You'll see a lot of bank turns. You'll see a lot of long drops like that don't really focus much on airtime. Well, that's because I wanted to get all the most important interactions out in the first half. Well, that was my intention. So I had all the giant swooping turns that you see on GCI coasters. I really wanted to replicate the feel from Gold Striker, which still remains in my top 10. Yeah, I think it still remains in my top 5 after my trip to Turkey, which, yes, actually did happen. So yeah, I'm not sure if Gold Striker still remains in my top 5. If not top 5, that is definitely number 6. And it's the highest any wooden coaster. It's the highest of any wooden coaster on my list. So yeah, I wanted to replicate the feel of Gold Striker because I love that coaster, and I love that its focus wasn't just airtime. Sometimes what you'd want is speed, what you'd want is bank turns. Sometimes airtime is not all that a coaster needs. And well, I just implemented that here. In the first half, there are a lot of turns, there are a lot of S bends, and there are a couple of airtime hills. The second half, however, is really when I go all out. I add all sorts of crazy airtime hills, turns, and pretty much everything that you see on a wooden coaster except for an inversion, which I may or may not do later in the park. That I'm still unsure about, but yeah, over here I didn't want an inversion. I wanted it to be a relatively family-friendly coaster. Obviously, my definition of family-friendly is not the same as a sane person's definition of family-friendly, as we have seen with my family coaster, which I built, I think, in episode 9. And yes, in the next episode or the next to next episode, I'll be building the most insane family coaster the world has ever seen, and it has inversions, but the riders most likely don't invert. Can you take a guess what model it is? Just put that in the comment section below. I'll be uploading that video very soon. Don't worry. So yeah, I have a lot lined up. In fact, I'll be adding two family coasters that have inversions in them, and one of which inverts properly and the other one doesn't, and both of them interact with water in some way. Alright. So yeah, I'm really getting a little crazy with these designs, but that's kind of why you see this channel, don't you? You want to see crazy designs that can actually happen in real life. Because all of these designs, despite how crazy they are, all of them fit within G-force limits. Not one goes above 6 Gs, except for maybe a couple of coasters I made in the very beginning that go up to 6.5 Gs, but forget that. That's what I really like about the coasters in this park. They're insane. They'll probably never be made. But somehow in the future, if there's a crazy lunatic that wants to build these, investors can actually fall for this. And well, I'll be first in line to ride something like this. But yeah, that's really all I want to say, because a lot of time that I spent recording this episode didn't really go to the building of this dueling coaster, which was hard on its own and time taking on its own. But the longest part about recording this video was the station building and the paths. Because for this dueling coaster, I wanted it to be one of the most important attractions of the pirate section, which we're working on. And yeah, I wanted to add a little bit of theming, I don't know, Cedar Fair style theming, something a little less than what you would see on Copperhead Strike, or maybe about the same level. I wanted to add that kind of theming, and and yeah, that's really it. So I don't think there's anything else that I want to say now. I've said whatever I needed to say, and I guess I should just cue the music. Well, that's all I have for you today. This is Coaster Master signing out, and I'll see you next time on Building an Indoor Theme Park, Part 33.